at least 60 minutes because more than 60 years of public sectors have gone. And if I am concerned, more than 43 years have been put in public sector, either within or for public sector enterprises as a Director General of a scope. So that way, 43 minutes would have justified. But I also note that it will be a problem for the organizers, security and safety problem, as to why they called me on this stage to speak for such a long time, and I don't want to threaten you for that. Thanks for inviting me, even though we are also the co-sponsor of this prestigious program where awards are being given by the organization. It was very good to hear very good words from Mr. Tripathi and successively from two of the very important civil servants, Mr. Srivastava, and then Joint Secretary, Housing and Urban Development Ministry. I also heard about a few questions from Mr. Srivastava, which was for public sector enterprises, and the example of Air India was given. Yes, Air India has been a chronic loss-making public sector enterprises, successively run by a class of persons from a distinct class of civil servants, not from within the public sector enterprises, but I don't assure that public sector enterprises would have turned around that Air India because there are chronic problems with Air India. Leaving aside that, you know that we started soon after independence because the country had no infrastructure as such. There was a complete resource crunch in terms of the financial resource because of the 200 years of rule by the English. And there were no planning as such. Fortunately, we had a very cheap and very big labor force, and in spirit of the Indian constitutions to have a mixed economy, public sectors were born in 50s with a very meager investment of 29 crores. These figures are authentic figures as per the DP documents, so may be taken as the last figures. The public sectors like Fertilizer Corporation of India, ITI, and all that which have become more or less a junk company today were born during that time. This is a different story as to why they became junk, but basic reason was that they could not change with the time. The technology was not changed. For example, the Fertilizer Corporation of India, the energy consumption was somewhere around 13, 14 to 17 million kilocalories per ton of urea. And at the present time, the specific consumption is around 6 to 7 million kilocalories only. They also could not change because the government did not allow them to change and the investment were not cleared. So that way, it is not proper for me to accuse either public sector enterprise or the government of India for that purpose, but I will simply make it more light कि तुम्ही ने दर्द दिया और तुम्ही दवा दोगे. I hope the government of India will revive all these public sector enterprises who are basically financially stressed. Now, before 1990, Mr. Tripathi very nicely analyzed that before 1990, the basic aim was the social factor more than any of the commercial factors. And in the name of social factors, many appointments had been made, so much so that if you see the figures of 1989-90, it was 24 lakhs of public sector employees. Obviously, productivity will be the casualty in such a case. And public sectors, unfortunately, ironically, they became synonymous with letharginess, ineffectiveness, and all the bad names were given to public sectors, even though they were called temples of India and commanding heights and all that during that time. But with liberalization, rightly told by again Mr. Tripathi, that things changed. And within 10 years of post-liberalization period, the turnover itself multiplied by 9 times in public sector enterprises, and profitability, you will be surprised to know that it increased by 35 times by 2001. So that is where, and the present public sector, to correct the figures quoted earlier, I will tell that there are 292 public sector enterprises in which Government of India have invested around 9.51 lakh crore of rupees so far. And on this 9.5 lakh crores, the turnover is around 20 to 21 lakh crore presently, and the net worth also is comparable in the same range of 9.5 to 9.6 lakhs crores. The profitability is around 1.29 lakhs crores after payment of taxes. This is a net profit. So 12 to 13, around 13% of the return on investment is not a simple thing in the present time, particularly after the recession period. Now, contribution towards the national exchequer, you will be surprised to know that it is more than 22% of the total revenue collected by Government of India towards taxes, etc., which is around 2.2 lakh crore, which public sector enterprises are giving. Confidence of the investors, you will be surprised to know that all the disinvestment exercises. Can you provide a glass of water for me? All the disinvestment exercise by Government of India were oversubscribed many, many times more than this. And that shows the confidence of the investors in public sector enterprises today. You just compare to other non-government sectors, I don't want to say private sector and all that. 44 to 45 public sector enterprises have been listed so far, which is almost 5% of the total listed company, because total is 950 listed company in the country. And this 5% is having a market capitalization of around 20% of the total market, capital market in India. That is also a complementary thing for the public sector enterprises. When I was speaking, it appears that public sector is definitely the best one and there is no need of further improvement. No, there is a need of further improvement, and there comes the reform process. The reform process which has gone substantially of very high order throughout the world in public sector enterprises, there is a need for such changes in India as well. At the same time, there has been a very good initiative by Government of India towards reforming the public sector enterprises. You must have heard, and you know the thing, you have been signing, the MOU exercise which public sector enterprises are signing with the administrative ministry to meet the target, because each target is linked to a certain weightage, which in turn is linked to the PRP, what we call PRP, and these are some sort of incentive. MOU exercise is one exercise which has given such a good encouragement as well as the better performance motivation to public sector enterprises. So it is giving a very good contribution towards the betterment of public sector enterprises. Similarly, you know that public sector enterprises were categorized into Maharatna, Noratna, Mini Ratna. At presently 7 Maharatna company, around 17 Noratna, 73 Mini Ratna, altogether 97 Ratnaj companies are there, which have been given certain empowerment in terms of, say, investment, in terms of mergers, acquisition, investment, and also selecting the partners for their joint ventures. That has given a very big boost up to public sector enterprises. Then comes the regulations. Regulations is such a thing in public sector enterprises that they have been subjected to large many regulations, to be very frank. Be it the, one of our honorable regulators is sitting over here, be it the various regulatory system for different sectors in the public economy, be it the vigilance administration, because it is a very complex and heterogeneous vigilance administration in this country. Start from, say, CAG, then CBC, then CBI, then whatnot, all C sisters or brothers. Then it also linked that accountability towards the parliament committee, COPU and all that. Yes, we are a democracy, we must have a system like that. But what is hurting? RTI, yes, RTI is also one thing. CCI, this Competition Commission of India. All that have made some sort of thinking in public sector enterprises that why not there is a converged system of regulations. Because if you have at least 10 husbands, you can imagine your fate. It is just like that. All the regulatory systems are acting like that. At the end of this, I have a quote here from Pandit Nehru, which he gave in the Parliament in 1956, which is a very good vision presented to this country towards the regulations and all that. It is somewhere, I will search for it in this gadget and let you know. What I want to tell that, yes, regulations and all that are necessary because there is a need to guard the guardians of public sector enterprises, but it must be a simplistic system. Traditionally, public sector enterprises are more for conformance, as they are highly disciplined people and they do not go beyond the rules. But that is also affecting, conformance is affecting the performance also sometimes. And it also creates what I have been terming as some sort of malicious sincerity. Malicious sincerity is, suppose if you are sending your servant to bring a toothpaste costing 12 rupees. He comes back to you, tell that nahi, 12 rupees wala nahi available hai, 12 rupees 25 paisa wala available hai. And then go, take it. He goes and comes, nahi, wo khatam ho gaya, ab 12.5 wala available hai. Again he goes, and by that time that is also over. So decision making, this is a good indicator, you know, you are learned people, you know what I am telling. This is affecting the decision making in public sector enterprises. Because all the CEOs are not ordinary people, they are intelligent people. They know how to save themselves in the post-retired life. They have to ensure their peaceful life after retirement because of the regulatory system which I named. Then there are certain directions. Corporate Ministry has acted on corporate governance, DP and Corporate Affairs Ministry on CSR, and similar directions from New Company Act, because this is an act. Then on social responsibility, certain mandatory provisions are there for public sector enterprises, even though there is no such hard and fast directive on non-government sector, I will tell. And the pretext is, that way RTI also, pretext is that we are the custodian of public money. We have been built up on public money. Can we say that the projects of other sectors, private sector, can we say the money of NGOs are not public money? They are also public money, because all money is public money unless it is black money in the country. So why not this level playing field is provided to public sector enterprises? Now, this is the reforms taken and the issues involved with the reform. What has happened during the, kindly tell me when, एक दो मिनट पहले हमको बोल दीजिएगा कब खत्म कीजिए. In the post-recession period, I'm jumping directly on that aim to cut short the time. Post-recession period, there has been a paradigm shift in different governments to polarize towards sovereign holding in the capital market. They have realized that capital in the hands of private can create so many recession and recession in future. That is the reason so many banks failed, because it was run by a private entity in the country where the recession was originated. And then you will be surprised to know that countries like Norway, Philippines, UK, France, Malaysia, Vietnam, Singapore, all have gone for a sovereign consolidation into the capital market. So much so, they have evolved an ownership policy towards their state-owned enterprises, which we call public sector enterprises in India. And that is the need of the hour for this country also, to eliminate the influence, with all due regard to some of very important civil servants sitting here. Srivastava is gone. The administrative ministry is supposed to be the owner, which acts on behalf of the President of India or the government, central government, for the public sector enterprises. You will be surprised to know that even after 6 decades of public sector enterprises, there is no ownership policy today for PSU. There is no obligation as such for the administrative ministry that they are committed to do this. I know that you have been signing something in QPR, what you call QPR, that government will provide, but you are scared of asking so much thing to your administrative ministry. This is the reality in this country. So therefore, the sovereign holding company, which has been created worldwide, has eliminated the administrative ministry representation in the board of directors of the state-owned enterprises, that is public sector enterprises as such. We have to learn something. At the same time, we have to also see the cultural aspect of the country, because outright all the Western technique cannot transgress directly to the Indian system, that we know. But there is a need to gradually move towards that. Okay, I will directly land to, it was all that you must be feeling that public sector people are superb people, and the other side, there is a need for that. No. You have to also change. I can see there are a large number of CEOs are sitting here, and many of them are known to me by face, I can say. There is a need for change in the mindset also, because worldwide, the leadership style, don't confuse with leaders. It is a leadership which is system-oriented that has changed tremendously, because that is creating a brand of the company. Leadership is not anybody, it is some sort of creation of a brand of its own culture. So that when it goes to clientele side, or when it goes to investor side, when it goes to consumer side, when it goes to employee side, it has a different image as such. You will be surprised to know that gone are our days, except for a few youngsters who are sitting, gone are that days that we have a bad feeling that we have to have organizational loyalty as such. We came from that era, that organization is giving just like mother. And we were very much loyal to organization. Today, no. Youngsters who are coming from IIM and IIT and all that, they are not loyal to the organization as such. They are loyal to their profession. They are loyal to their skill development. They are loyal to, of course, their packages. All the three. So public sector enterprises and CEO particularly have to think on that the employees are here because you are providing the best professionalism. The employees are here because you are updating the skill and you are providing a skill which has a market value as such. So all that you need to change as such. So okay, next time, sometimes I will give the Nehru quote. He says that with the way government runs and the way public sector runs is quite different. Government may require regulations and strict adherence to the regulation is a different thing. Public sector, where decisions have to be made on quick basis, would require some flexibility. Since our regulator is sitting, so I will tell that we have a large number of public sector in telecom also. So that is a requirement of the time. Thank you very much. You have tolerated me.